On July 8, 1945, a U.S. soldier opens fire from the guard tower at a World War II prisoner of war camp on American soil. But what prompted this violent and tragic incident? And were any prisoners killed or wounded? The site of this violent act was the central Utah town of Salina, population 1,600 at the time. The camp held about 250 German prisoners of war who had been sent to the small Utah town to help with the harvest of sugar beets and other produce. During night duty on July 8, 1945, Private Clarence Bertucci fired a .30 caliber machine gun at the tents of the sleeping POWs. Fellow soldiers rapidly intervened, but not before 9 German prisoners were killed and 19 more wounded. Bertucci was taken into custody with minimal resistance and stated that he hated Germans, so he killed Germans. Doctors determined that he was mentally unbalanced, and he was sent to a psychiatric hospital in New York. The incident occurred 2 months after Germany's surrender, which means the war in Europe against the Germans was already over. The victims were buried with full military honors at Fort Douglas near Salt Lake City. Once they recovered, the wounded POWs were sent back to Germany and eventually released. A museum stands today at the location of Camp Salina. The incident remains the worst ever massacre at a U.S. prisoner of war camp and the deadliest mass shooting in Utah history. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1497, Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama begins the first ever voyage to sail around Africa to India. In 1709, Peter the Great defeats Sweden at the Battle of Poltava, transforming Russia into a major power. In 1853, U.S. Commodore Matthew Perry sails into Tokyo Bay, forcing Japan to open itself to foreigners. In 1889, in New York City, Dow Jones and Company publishes the first edition of the Wall Street Journal. In 1947, the Roswell Daily Record reports that a flying saucer has been recovered near Roswell, New Mexico. In 1994, Kim Il-sung, North Korea's first communist dictator, dies of a heart attack at age 82. In 2000, 20-year-old American Venus Williams wins her first Grand Slam singles title at Wimbledon. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. Which of the daughters of Russian Tsar Nicholas II was purported to have survived assassination during the Russian Revolution? Olga, Tatiana, Maria, or Anastasia? Liked learning about this POW shooting on American soil? Then you'll love this one about an American airman captured and imprisoned by the Japanese in World War II. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.